welcome to another edition of Talk the Talk Rio Grande Valley Stars, third season. I'm your host, Alex Arabia, along with
Lorenzo Reyna.
And today we have a great guest, Lorenzo Reyna. Thank you for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Yeah, thank you.
Taking time out of your busy schedule. He wears many different hats. He does a lot for the community, and he's going to be sharing a lot about what he does and his future goals, providing advice. It should be an inspirational interview. Tell us about your background, where you're from, how old you are.
Okay,
Anything you want to share?
I'm from Mission, Texas, so born and raised here, which is a great thing. I'm 28 years old, and I grew up here. Just a lot of the time it was just listening to music in my car, which started off like getting into the hip hop culture. Because really here, there's a lot of more like reggaeton or tejano music. That's the kind of primary stuff that you see around here. But me, I'm kind of young, focusing in on the radio. B104 was the radio station I listened to. MTV, back when they did like music videos, they actually showed music videos back then. So that's a lot of like the influence that I was getting as a young person. And then just aspiring to be that, what I see on TV. It's like, man, I see these musicians, I see these people doing these big things, and that's what it was. That was the starting thing that got me, okay, I need to do something with my life. I need to do something great, right? And that's what it was. It started off like that, and I started getting together with my friends, making music, doing different things. And you can't just do one thing. You can't just make the music and expect people to receive it. You have to be able to do the design behind it. You have to be able to market it. You have to be able to accomplish all the different aspects. So I knew that as a young person that I had to figure out how to do all the different things. So that's kind of how it sparked the career that I'm in now.
And what is it that you do? What jobs do you have?
So right now, currently, I'm an account executive at Grande Arena, and account executive at the HB Park.
So tell us what that means. Like, what's that role?
So
those who don't know what that means.
As an account executive, what it is am I talking directly to you guys or just to the camera?
Yeah, I think we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. So as an account executive, what I'm doing is basically a little bit of everything. Like, I like to believe that I'm a community relations manager. I'm a sales guy, right? I'm an event coordinator. Like, I basically have to do everything at that position because it's whatever it takes to make a sale. That's basically the bottom line. So when I submitted my application there, I told them, I've been doing entertainment since I was 16 years old. This is what it is, and I showed them some graphic designs that I did, even though that doesn't even apply to my position. But basically, I wanted to show them that I had whatever I could. I had all it took to accomplish that job. So right now, what I'm doing is basic sales. Group sales, ticket sales, promoting for events. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of the position, it's like I just have this event coming out right now. It's called the Great Freight Truck Show. So that one I came up with all by myself. I sat down, I was thinking, okay, how can I target logistic companies? And I was like, well, perfect. This is a great way to get the grand sponsorship concept that we have at the arena and the park, which costs like $30,000 to $100,000, and bring it down to like a low price, like $500, and these people still get to showcase their company. So I had to do that. I had to get with marketing and design a flyer and come up with the idea, create a PowerPoint, and then I have to execute. So now I have to pick up the phone and do the sale aspect.
So it takes a lot of creativity and patience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And networking as well.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you're creating a lot of events and then bringing these events to the Grande Arena.
What have been the most successful events at the arena last year?
Well, me personally, I haven't had that. Haven't hit that big event. I think this is gonna be the one. Honestly, the Great Freight Truck Show. I feel like that's the one most people are responding to. All the directors, the event director, the operations director, they heard the idea, the sales director, and they're like, yeah, this has great potential. So hopefully this is the one.
What's going to be the dates for that?
September 20th. Yeah.
September 20th.
Yeah, that's
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. So logistic companies, freight companies, anything that has to do with big rigs or anything like that, that's what we're looking for.
Oh, that's really exciting because that's big down here.
Yeah, you see them all over. So I was like, man, this is gonna be big. Hopefully,
people are interested in that.
Yeah.
So tell us about the role models in your life that help influence your career.
Who do you look up to? Who do you admire?
Yeah, well, I owe my life to my mom, you know, that's like the biggest thing.
You can say hi to your mom, he's gonna watch
Hey,
it.
Mom. Yeah, for sure to my mom. Bottom line is that she had faith in me when you know, when it wasn't even me. Like I went through a really hard time. Whenever you have that initial influence, being MTV or being B104, you know, it's not gonna always work out. You know, that's just not how it is. You know, you're living in a whole different world and being here in the valley, and so I mean, especially when you start going down that road, like Lil Wayne or, you know, nowadays I'm pretty sure it's like Lil Pump or something. If that's your influence, you're probably not gonna be doing the right things. You know, you're probably not gonna be making the right decisions. Honestly, I got to this point in my life where I was like, the worse I do, the more, you know, the more likely I am. The bigger the mistake, the better. Like, at that point, I thought any publicity is good publicity, right? That's what I thought. Which I learned that wasn't true. Yeah, that's not true. But yeah, so my mom believed in me through that. She never thought that the person that I had become was me. She always said, that's not my son or whatever. And once I gave my life to God, which is something that happened to me in September 2013, I gave my life to God. And when that happened, she was telling the person that started taking me to church, she said, you know, thank you for bringing my son back. And so when I heard that, I was like, wait. So that wasn't your son? You see what I'm saying?
And so September 2013, so about 6 years ago.
Yeah, that was when it's kind of switched over.
So how important has your faith been in your career?
Oh man, that would be the second thing that I would say. Like my role model is my mom, and number two would probably be God. You know, or Jesus Christ. Well, because you know God is a huge concept, but Jesus Christ, we can kind of narrow it down. We can read a book about it, or we can lay down some role like you know, like a model, like one particular person, which is Jesus, and the way he lived his life and stuff, which helped me to influence and change the course of my life, you know, just following that path. And so yeah, it was huge, because if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't have started making the steps towards progressing to be in the position I am now.
And you also do music, right? You're involved with music. Right. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so with the faith, in 2013, I got baptized, and I gave my life to Christ, to Jesus. And when that happened, it was based off of music. Like what drove me to the church was music. The guy told me, he came over to my house. His name is J.A.R. You guys should probably interview him too. That's a good guy. He's J.A.R. Yeah, he's a great singer, man. He's doing big things too. So this guy, you know, we knew in high school. I used to throw parties in high school, like high school parties, and that was my thing. And
we were never invited. Maybe you would have known us, man.
Maybe you would have known. Yeah, man. So maybe you went. So yeah, man, they got pretty big, and this guy would show up, and he would kind of be there in the background and stuff. So he knew me from there, but we never really met. I didn't even know he sang. So funny thing is, this guy did a national anthem performance for the Vipers, which is what I do now. You know what I mean? So that's what I do now. So when I met him, he's like, yeah, I sing. I sang for the national anthem for the Vipers, and I'm like, what? No way. He's like, yeah, man. He knew that I also not only threw parties, but I also did music recording. So at that time, I was recording in the back of my mom's house in a little shack, and yeah, that was bad, man. Like there was a party, and then we had a studio, and you could just imagine, you know. And so we were recording music, and that's what we were known for. So then, you know, years down the road, this guy asked me, hey man, you know, can I go over to record? And I'm like, I don't have a mic, man. Like, I sold the mic, and you know, I'm down to basically nothing. And this guy's like, well, I'll buy a mic. I'm like, I'll buy a mic, just let me go over and record. So he buys a mic, and he comes to my house, and he buys a little Wii mic, like a Nintendo Wii. Yeah, so I'm over here thinking, oh, studio quality, like this guy's gonna buy a mic, like, oh, bring him over, like, you know, whatever it takes to win, right? And this guy shows up with a little Wii mic, and I'm like, all right, like, oh, well, we'll see if it works. And we plug it in, and he does a cover for Bruno Mars, and I'm like, oh, I'm like there, like going live on Facebook or whatever, like I'm excited, you know. and he says, okay, now you do a little rap or whatever. So I get on the mic and I do a little something. And he's like, hey man, you know, my dad has a church, and if you want, you can come and you can do your raps. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, you don't understand. You don't understand like the depth of that invitation, because at that time I was so lonely, like I was so broken. Like I'm telling you, I was at the bottom of the bottom. Like I had sold my mic. Like I don't even want to say for what, you know. Like it was just the bottom of the bottom. And he invites me to do my music at a church. I had been walking down the street. There's a church down the street. I've been walking down the street going to this church, and man, I promise you, I would imagine myself on top of the stage while the preacher's preaching. I would imagine myself like doing it for the church, you know. So I had been doing this for the streets or whatever back then, and that's what it was all about. So then I started going. I was at this bottom place, and I started going to church. I said, imagine, man, if I did it for the church. Well, I'd have to obviously talk about Christ, or I'd talk about God or something. Like it'd have to be without bad words or something. So I started doing it. Like I started writing Christian music at my house, and then this guy comes out of nowhere and invites me to rap at his church, and I'm like, where, dude, I actually have Christian
lyrics, right?
Yeah,
Perfect timing.
Yeah, Christian stuff. So I went over there, and nothing like you imagine. Like, you know, you always have this thing in your imagination. You're like, yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be this big thing. And I get there, and it's total culture shock, bro. Like no, like they're playing the accordion, like wah, 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 and they're, you know, they have like that. And so I'm there, and I'm just like stuck. And
But a good experience nonetheless.
I went to that church for 2 years, so that's what I'm telling you, man. It's not the lights, it's not all the flashy stuff. When it comes to that life transformation stuff, it's just being with the proper influence, the right role models, also being submissive to a transformation. Like you want something out of your life, like that's what I wanted. I wanted to do music, and it didn't matter where it was, it didn't matter how weird it was. It's like, let's do it. Like,
so tell us what your future goals are now. Where do you see yourself in the next 5, 10 years?
So I'm working right now with a group called BG4G, By God For God, which is a faith-based ministry, a faith-based mission to witness the gospel. And our goal right now is to become full-time ministers, full-time musicians. I mean, that's the goal. For me, it's kind of hard, you know, being in the situation that I'm in the career that I'm in. I don't really feel that need to be like, all right, I'll drop what I'm doing and I'm going to pursue music. But some of these other guys in the group, it's not the same for them, you know. They go to work every day, they hate the job, they have to go in there and, you know, put on the headset and take all the people's, you know, negatives all day. And it's like, they have a talent, you know, they have a desire to do something great, and they're being kind of limited or, you know, held back by these jobs, which they have to provide for their family and things like that. So the goal right now is to become full-time ministers, to be able to be completely having an income from just music. So that's the goal, you know, and so I'm committed to it as well, not just for me, but for them.
And you want to continue with your job at Grande?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but of course that's the goal as a group. That's the vision, is full-time ministers.
Very briefly, your biggest achievement so far and your biggest obstacle so far in your career?
My biggest achievement? Well, in my career at Lorenzo Reyna, I would say my biggest achievement, we brought out 575 students from LBJ Middle School. So that was huge. I think it was the biggest thing, just seeing all those people. But man, honestly, me in my personal life, I would say the biggest achievement is just that, man. Going from that place where I was in my brokenness, and I wouldn't even say it's my achievement, you know. It was something that God did in my life, just transformation, going from this. And you can just ask anybody in my network, you know, like anybody that sees this, they'll vouch for the person that I was, going from the person that I was before and becoming the person that I am now.
And that's what life is all about, right?
Yeah.
Moving and becoming a better person.
It's just crazy, man. Yeah.
And the biggest obstacle so far?
Oh man, the biggest obstacle, for sure it would have to be, I think hopefully we can all relate as men. I think it's women. I don't know. I think that's the biggest obstacle.
Trying to divorce wives.
Yeah, man, I think that's the biggest obstacle. I think as a young person with goals, with desires, with dreams, I think the biggest thing is that there's a bunch of girls out there, and it doesn't matter what age you are, you're 16, 17, 18, you're 28, you know, it doesn't matter, it's still the same. You know, it's just what's priority to you. I feel like it's as a young person, you know, if there's young people listening, I think that the biggest thing is that if you're young, choose what's most important to you. Like, do you really care about your goals and your dreams? And if so, then stick to it, be persistent, and focus in on that. You know, one guy, his name's Carlos Fantini, just recently was in one of the top sales guys at Brett Ogden, the dealership. He has a website, carlosfantini.com or something like that. Like, this guy's already there. Like, he told me, he's like, hey man, you know, because the Toros girls are there, we got the Vipers girls are there. He's like, hey man, don't focus on any of that. He's like, focus on the money, because that's what gets the girls. He's like, don't focus on the girls.
Because that's what it takes to win.
Yeah, man, so definitely.
How important has social media been? I know you mentioned Facebook earlier.
Yeah.
And how can people find you on social media?
Social media on facebook.com/howwedoneit. It's HOWIEDUNNET. So facebook.com/howwedoneit. Facebook.com/BG4GCode.
Has it been an important platform for your career?
Man, social media is like, if you're not using it, you're out of the loop.
That's how I contacted you for this interview,
Yeah,
for example.
man, social media is so important to me. I had an argument the other day. I was like, man, it's like social, like, and they were telling me, you need to have a business profile, you need to have a personal profile, and I'm like, okay, wait, hold on, stop, wait. I'm just one person. Like, I don't have multiple
Personalities.
I'm one person.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm like, why should I have like all these three? And I know this is probably an open debate. We can talk about it all day, and we can disagree, agree, whatever. For me, I feel like that's what bridges my different things that I do. I'm walking in now to the arena because I recently released a song. It's called Gucci. It's on Spotify. And you can get it on Spotify, but I released it recently, and just for a week, I changed my Facebook to music focus, and then I flipped it to the Great Freight Truck Show. You know, I just changed my wall, what is it called? The backside? Yeah, I just changed the cover and I changed my picture. So I went from this Gucci picture where I'm like, you know, looking as a rapper, and then I flipped it to looking as an account executive, and I made that switch. Which it's a clean transition, it's okay, I'm back to business, I'm back to work, but that doesn't mean that the impact that I had that week was not resonating in my network. So people are now, as I'm walking into the arena, they're saying, hey bro, nice music, and I'm like, wait, how do you, you know, so it's good. So,
any closing remark for our viewers?
Yeah man, just I don't know, closing remarks, you usually edit this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can be about your faith, you can be about anything.
Those are your remarks. Okay. Okay. So as far as closing remarks goes, I feel like one of the biggest things, like one of the quotes that I can leave everybody with is commit your works to the Lord and your plans will succeed. It's Proverbs 16:3. It's something that I've had, you know, as a quote for me for a long time. So that one's good.
Well, thank you very much, Lorenzo.
Yeah, all right.
Taking time for busy schedule.
Thanks,
Thank you
man.
so much here.
Yeah, for sure.
Today we wish you the best in your career.
All right, thanks, man.
And I'm Alex Arabia, Isaac Medina. Talk the Talk, Real Grande Stars, the 3rd edition. Until next time.
All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.